I'm on the bicycle, which must mean that Brands Hatch. Oh, stick's a bit wobbly. So it's round 5 of the Pirelli Super Series 1000 Championship. Just been to sign on because today is actually a track day, which is slightly odd, but that's just the way they do it here. So I'm in the advanced group, I think, advanced one, I don't know which one it is. Anyway, when we get back to the tent, there's something pretty special there. So I'm gonna play the intro. Make sure you like and subscribe, like right now, and then I'll show you something pretty cool. Probably the biggest thing to ever happen in my racing career, so I'll see you in a bit.
In audio.
So there it is, 2024 on the Fireblade. Unfortunately, it's in the colours of the people who used to own it, so Jordan Racing. There wasn't quite enough time, so I've actually got my graphics, but there wasn't a new fairing kit for it. But it's full fat, so it's yeah, it's pretty nice. I did ride this on Tuesday. It's Thursday today. I did ride this on Tuesday at Donington Park as well. So it's full, like, HRC loom. I don't know. It's got a thumb brake on there, spider clip-ons and rear sets, full Aqua system. I've opted for K-Tech suspension in this one, even though it says Öhlins. It's definitely K-Tech. Yeah, so it's quite a big upgrade, especially in terms of price, from the Gixxer that I have been racing. So a massive thank you to everyone who's kind of made this happen, really. So family members and sponsors. Speaking of sponsors, XSI, my main sponsor, on there, even though obviously we're not XSI Suzuki anymore, we're going to have to be XSI Honda. But check them out, because genuinely without them I wouldn't be racing bikes. And now to have a 2024 Fireblade, it's quite unbelievable. So yeah, I rode it on Tuesday. It's got the split throttles. It's absolutely mental. It's really fast, so it's going to be interesting to see how I can get on with, you know, this bike. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow when it'll be the test day. So I've had the first session. Bike felt really good. It is very fast. I've got one session left to go. Tried a stiffer spring in one of the legs that time, but because of the lap time what I did, I have to share it with everyone. 31.556 on lap 3. I mean, I might just have to stick with that. 30.556 or 29.556 is the next aim. Do a 30 first, then we'll do a 29. But yeah, see you in a bit. Well, good morning, welcome to Brands Hatch. The sun is shining and Luke's camper is looking absolutely resplendent. Got the Honda. It was a really good day yesterday. Looks like we're going to have some good racing today with a couple of guys that I was on track with. We all looks kind of similar pace, which is nice, and that kind of means that I've gone a little bit quicker on the bike, even though obviously I've barely ridden it. I don't know whether I said earlier in the vlog, I did actually ride it on Tuesday at Donington Park, and it is amazing. For anyone that's wanting something a little bit cheaper, my Gixxer probably is going to be going for sale. And if you follow the channel, like and subscribe, you'll be aware that I've had some good results and some good lap times on that bike. We've got the GoPro Session 5 on, so it's a little bit rubbish, but it's the best we can do. And there's no rear camera this weekend, I don't think. I just haven't got enough mounts and stuff. It's all been a little bit last minute, as you can appreciate. But we'll go out for qualifying now, so get yourself on. bad session. I've qualified 5th, which probably sounds the same as all my previous vlogs, to be honest, so you would think that there's no improvement, but the reality is that I'm much closer to the pack. I did get held up on my fastest lap, which was a 1 minute 30.1. Ryan Dixon did the fastest time. Well done, Ryan. He did a 29.5 or 29.6. So I think there's probably about 10 bikes within a second, so quite close. Did kind of have some, not problems, but things with the front end that I thought would be fixed by putting a new tyre in, which hasn't really fixed it. It just feels a little bit like it's on a knife edge, and I'm at the limit of the front tyre. Now obviously I'm not, because people go much faster than what I'm doing. The lap record on a stock bike's at 27.3, I think, so you know, that's like just under 3 seconds quicker than what I'm going at the moment. I do think we can go faster in a race, you know, not getting held up and being in a train and going for it. Probably make a setting change to the forks, but the electronics is pretty good, so I think we'll leave them alone. I'll see you for the race. Well, not a bad race just then. It ended up, we had to have a rerun, which never really helps me, to be honest. I always struggle a little bit to get into it, but it was a decent race. I did my PB 29.9, and kind of for the first half of the race, it was only 8 lap because it was a rerun, and there was like a front group of 4, I think. Then there was Jim Bob, and then there was me, and at one point I kind of felt like I was catching. The reality is that the gap was probably just staying the same, but last couple of laps I kind of made a few mistakes and dropped off. Nonetheless, I did a 29.9, but thankfully I've got Layla here who's given me a few tips on how to ride the bike, aren't you, Babas? Are you telling Daddy how to ride the bike? Yeah. Yeah, she's given me a few pointers. She says more throttle, less brake, so I'll have a go at that tomorrow. But yeah, so far so good. It'd be nice to be a bit closer at the front, but I mean, we're closer than we were at the previous round, so it's a step in the right direction. Well, it's Sunday morning. I've just watched back my onboards from yesterday, and there's definitely some areas where I can improve. I'm going to make a few changes with the bike as well, in terms of giving it a little bit more power in 4th gear, because I think it's labouring a little bit our Hawthorne. And I've reduced the power to make the bike more rideable, so I think I'm going to increase the power and then just have to use the thumb brake a little bit more in some areas of the track. Also, I think I'm going to add maybe 1 or 2 miller preload in the rear, just to try and hold the balance of the bike more on the front tyre in the faster corners, to help me close the corners off. And finally, I think I'm going to raise my foot pegs. So quite a few changes. Well, I mean, I've watched it back and I didn't make too many mistakes really. I'm just kind of at the limit of where I feel comfortable at the moment on the new bike, so it wasn't a bad result. And the times aren't bad either. 29.9 I think I did, but the guys at the front, I'm sure someone did a 29.1 yesterday, and they all had ideals that were in the 28, so got a good bit of time to find, but it is just the first weekend on this new bike, so yeah, try not to beat myself up too much. So make some changes and then get ready for the race. So we've got 2 races today, one at 12:30 and one at 4:15. It looks like it's going to be really hot, sort of like 24 degrees. It's already 21, 22 degrees and it's only 10 to 10 in the morning, so conditions are prime, if not probably a little bit too hot later. But yeah, let's just see how it goes. So make sure you like and subscribe. Well, as you will have hopefully seen, that was a pretty mental race. I was really strong at the beginning and was able to actually put moves on people, so I think I've knocked a second off in that race, and I'm being told that that's a good enough time to put me third on the grid for the next race. I did finish sixth in this race. I did struggle towards the end, especially when there was people in front of me and I couldn't really pick my markers out because there was that many bikes, and there's a fair bit of contact as well, as you probably see in the footage. So kind of second guessing all that and thinking where's the bike's going to end up and which part of the track. Nonetheless, good improvements, and there's some changes I can make for the next race to make it a bit easier, so we'll see how it goes. Well, not a bad first weekend on the Honda. It's actually the first time I've been to Brands Hatch and not crashed. Last year it wasn't my own fault. If you're familiar, you might know about the knee slider incident. If you don't, go back and watch it, because it was pretty shit. Anyway, Honda works great. I was lacking something in that race and sort of talked my way backwards out of the group. I did have quite a few moments on the front tyre, so like ultimately I didn't have the grip that I had in the race before. Everyone was slower in this race apart from Norton, who did a 28.7, which is the fastest lap of the weekend, but to you know, I was only 2/10 off the fastest lap of the weekend on my first weekend on the Honda, so I've got to look on the bright side really, and so that's a decent result. No prize money this weekend, I don't think, but that front group was really fast. Nonetheless, good weekend. Make sure you like and subscribe, and massive thank you to all my sponsors, family, friends who, you know, bought me a bike, but also who support me and, you know, help me do what I do. So cheers, I'll see you in the next one.